Hi everyone, number one Marmaduke fan here, and I don't understand Code Geass at all. I heard about it through Code Ment by Purple Eyes WTF, which kind of when like the abridged series phenomenon was starting to die down and not be as popular as it used to be. His series Code Ment kind of revitalized the genre a little bit. He did less of a traditional abridged series and just did like really random kind of Monty Python style esque humor, just using Code Geass is really loose inspiration. He had that one clip go viral about this kid being lost in the soup store that everybody did a riff on. So I got interested to pick it up, and I think it was like the hit anime a while ago, a few years ago. I just don't get this manga at all. I think it's based off of a visual novel because it's got original story by these two, and then manga by Majiko. So let's flip through it because I think it's become clear that I am kind of a manga guy. But when I see a manga that I just do not think is good, I want to make note of why it's good because I think good comics and good storytelling that transcends either the Western or the Japanese comic industry. So what to say about it? I think problem number one is the supporting cast is kind of forgettable. Like Lulu or Lelouch is the main character. I've forgotten his best friend's name already, so we're going to call him Japanese Prime Minister's kid. And then there's a whole bunch of girls in their class, and one of them's got like a calm exterior but a real rough interior, kind of like Inner Sakura in Naruto. One of the girls has a crush on Lelouch, and you could almost like take all the girls out or just have one girl character and it would still work, right? So so far the cast doesn't really make a very strong impression on me. Now, they're kind of cute. The art style, I have nothing really bad to say about the art style. It's 2000, what's the word? What's the adjective for 2000-ish? But kind of like as in the 2000s, like the harsh, sharp style of the 90s started to get softened a bit. So you can kind of like really date this as a real clear 2000 style. I don't mind it, but I just think everything starts getting a samey feel. That's it. So if what's nice about the 2000 style is it's starting to soften some of the hard edges of the 90s style, the bad side of the 2000 style is everybody starts to look the same and there's less distinctiveness because when you think about it, a lot of what makes you is how you deviate from the norm of beauty. Like if you have a very prominent nose, that's part of what makes you, right? So I just feel like everybody looks the same. So plot-wise, there's some similar problems too. I think there's a conveyance problem overall. So plot-wise, the plot is we're in Japan. It's been named Area 11 by the Britannia government. It's named Britannia, so it's kind of British, I guess, but they're also sort of quasi-fascist. They're not like as bad as Nazis, but they're like Nazi elements within the Britannian government. So, yeah. Okay, I'm okay for like a weird British fascist future sci-fi thing. And actually kind of the idea of naming a people a number and then stripping them of any identity beyond that number. That's kind of cool, but I guess the Britannian government, it just comes off generic evil empire-ish. And this girl, Cece, Lelouch rescued her, and she's kind of generic, like she's mysterious, and she gives him some kind of power, and she sort of teases him a little bit, but like, what's your deal? Is she a noble character? Is she an evil character? And then they'll do like some cutesy-doopsy humor where like he's this super secret bad guy Zero. I guess Zero is kind of like a mashup of Zorro and Batman. He's sort of like a vigilante hero, but without a moral compass. So they'll make him like look really cool and intimidating in those scenes, but then they'll do something goofy like, oops, the cat has his helmet and is going to reveal his secret identity. So should I be taking the character kind of seriously and intimidated by him? Should I look at him as a joke? Oh, look, she's got a cute Japanese schoolgirl outfit. I guess that was kind of like the closest to her getting character development in this entire volume. But I can't honestly tell you what makes Cece different than all the girls in his school, except that she's like the magical superpower girl, and she has something to do with his powers, but I'm not really sure what. Okay, this is kind of interesting. So his best friend, the son of the Japanese prime minister, is like super athletic, and he's always beaten Lelouch at everything, right? So there's like this setup that Lelouch is kind of the loser. He's not as good at things as his friend is, but then Lelouch gets this power that lets him do mind control, right? So it's kind of like you wouldn't suspect Lelouch because he's not like the most athletic kid or the most, on top of everything kid. His best friend is. And there's this interesting contrast where his best friend is Japanese and wants to become a member of the Britannian government so he can reform the Britannian government. Lelouch is like the son of the Britannian emperor who's been outcast, or he's fallen on his dad's his dad got up on the wrong side of the bed and got mad at his son, so he banishes him to Japan. So Lelouch is Britannian, but he is secretly this vigilante who's trying to destroy Britannia. But then it gets more complicated than that, and I'm not really sure what his ideology is. So at first it seemed like there was this interesting, oh yeah, they're like opposites, right? The Japanese who wants to become a Britannian and who's kind of like a reformer, and the Britannian who wants to help the Japanese and is more of a terrorist. That could be interesting. But then they kind of like muck it up. Oh, and then another forgettable girl shows up, and she's really cute, and she's really sweet, and she doesn't think anybody should fight each other, and everybody should love each other. And if only everybody was like you, the whole world would be better. Are you going for like a sweetie pie G-rated world? Are you going for like a serious, dark and gritty world? I can't get a vibe for this. So Lelouch, he just barely manages to accidentally reveal his secret identity, and his friends, he saves them. Can't say no to the vice president. Who is that? I've completely forgotten who she is. I guess she's cute. That's her personality. Okay. And so, because the Britannians are kind of bigots against the Japanese, who they call the 11s, like Lelouch is vouching for his Japanese friend. Oh, he's holding a gun to his head. I don't think that has anything to do with the plot of the story. And he's so dreamy, and the outfits are so sharp and cool looking, and everybody looks the same. And they're on a field trip on the train, and they're wondering if she should sit by him because she's got a crush. Okay, now this is the weirdest thing about it. So I don't get Lelouch. He has like this hate on for his dad because his mom died, and then his dad said, "Oh, like evolution. If your mom dies, that means she's weak. And now I'm gonna banish you for some reason, even though you didn't die." Is his dad trying to like toughen him up and make him a good emperor? And so like this like kind of ham-fisted, oh, your mother's dead, ha ha ha, you suck, you're dead to me. Like this becomes like the whole motivating thing for Lelouch. So he hates his dad, so I can't really get behind him as an anti-hero, because having daddy issues could be a strong motivation factor for him, but it seems like the only thing Lelouch has is his daddy issues, which becomes clear as he starts doing like super stuff as Zero. Oh, I skipped over all that. So the other thing, I can't find any pictures of it, but the other thing I don't like about Zero is anytime he shows up in the costume, he'll sort of like stand heroically. He'll stand ramrod straight and make announcements, and then everything will just sort of like work out without him doing anything. And there are even like some unintentionally hilarious scenes, maybe I'll find it, where he's like standing there and he says, "Oh no, I've got to get out of here." And he like casually takes one step, or he'll just be in a tree and you won't see how the heck he got in the tree, except he's just standing there and then he'll disappear. Like, is that part of his power? I don't know, because nothing's getting conveyed to me. I think what it probably is, they're just designing him to look super cool, but I want to see him do some cool things. Or if the whole point is he's not super athletic, but he uses his power in a creative way to manipulate people's minds, then convey that aspect of it to me. Like, it's not enough to just have a guy standing ramrod straight in a super cool suit for him to read as like a super cool vigilante character. All right, so here's where it starts making less sense to me, right? So the Japanese military, they're trying to kick out the Britannians, and so they take these innocent kids hostage. So I guess it kind of makes sense for Zero to show up and say, "Hey, I'm independent. I don't work for the Japanese. I don't work for the Britannians. I punish the guilty," right? And so this kind of helps Brit build his credibility. But then these guys haven't shot anyone yet. Why does he get to decide that he'll use his mind control power to kill some of these Japanese kids? Later, it's even worse. It's even worse than that. So he's an amoral character. Like, he'll kill Japanese, he'll kill Britannians as it suits him, allegedly based on whether he thinks you're powerful or not, because he has this hate boner for his dad, because his dad was mean to his mom. So I can't read him. I can't read him as a hero, of course, because he's doing all these amoral things. I can't really read him as a cool anti-hero because his philosophy doesn't make sense. And he doesn't really do that much cool stuff. Literally, like, standing ramrod straight, standing ramrod straight. Oh no, they're gonna blow it up? I gotta walk slowly in the opposite direction and use my mind control powers to make the Japanese guys kill themselves. And then later, when this Japanese guy turns out he was acting on his own, then I'll kill a whole bunch of other Japanese guys who weren't related to him because I'm so cool and I'm #1 and I have a plan for everything. Did you know I had a plane above us with a bomb in it? I have planned everything because I am a super duper planner. I have a plan. Look, I have a collar that pokes towards my head. That's how you know I have a plan. And I hate my dad. And I don't know. Whatever. There it is. Oh yeah, he's in a cute... Like, I killed thousands of people who were probably innocent. And I'm in a cute cat costume. Yeah. Yeah. Why are you buying clothes at the soup store? Bleep you! #1 Marmaduke fan. I love you guys. Hey, you should like, comment, subscribe, click the bell to receive notifications, and check out my Subscribe Star, the better alternative to Patreon. I appreciate all the people who have supported this channel and my subscribers, and I'll catch you later.